Howdy folks, welcome back to Red Dead Redemption on the Mysterious JG. I got a cowboy joke to tell you that I already told on my Neo Let's Play, but it came from my dad by Facebook, and it kind of ticked me off until Bobo made it better. I'll come back to you with that joke in a minute, but first, I'd like to announce that I'm coming to this game after about 2 weeks off, but unfortunately for you, I did watch the last minute or so of my video, and was reminded that I have the option, which I think I'm going to do, even though I said I wouldn't, of doing the ride from Strawberry to Rhodes on screen. Why? Well, it's something I need to do for a horsemanship challenge, so it would be considered some form of game progress if I can succeed, and there's also a real good chance that it'll come with some horse torture porn fun for all dragon. I don't think All Dragon likes to think of it as horse torture porn fun, but he has commented that he always gets kind of an amusement, some amusement, gets a little bit of a kick every time I like freaking crash my horse out of something and go flying off into the distance like an idiot. Hopefully you do too, because there's a decent chance that's going to happen if I'm trying to ride my horse as fast as possible from Strawberry to Rhodes, and the big thing with this challenge is that you can't touch water. So I need to make sure that I manually route to like a bridge or railroad tracks to get this done. Other than that, our last play session, we took care of some side missions that were really assigned to us during the time we were in Valentine, because the story has taken us away from Valentine into Rhodes, and I spent most of my money to not have a big wanted level in Valentine. But and I haven't done a lot of exploring, like, you know, messing around with trying to get into Blackwater and do stuff in Blackwater. Although I found a YouTube video that's kind of amusing, making fun of the various games that's and how they stop you from exploring areas early. Grand Theft Auto tends to you know, you go to an area of the map the story doesn't want you to go to yet. They make it difficult to reach, but if you go out of your way to find a way to get there, you get like a 5-star wanted level, which means that you basically are going to get murdered. In this game, they were saying, and I really haven't played with it other than the one mission where they told us to come down here. Apparently in this game, like, nothing you can do will hide your identity while you're in town, because they give you the ability to completely change your appearance. It does not help, and you were just constantly beset by bounty hunters who are just like super murderers, and which probably means they should have bounties on themselves. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, can't do anything about Blackwater yet, but I went back and made sure we didn't have a wanted level in Valentine, but maybe I shouldn't have bothered, because if I had knocked out these few side missions with the famous gunslingers, we'd be done up there, which we now kind of are for the time being. But anyway, I'm going to ride to Strawberry. And from Strawberry, we need to ride to Rhodes as fast as we can to complete a horsemanship challenge. Now, this Let's Play is not the most watched Red Dead Redemption 2 Let's Play on the internet. It's probably in the top 3. It's not in the top 3. But one thing, you know, I'm playing for fun here, so I'm not all that bothered with it. But I do feel like if people who don't like this particular Red Dead Redemption Let's Play have lots of choices, so people aren't really, I'm just not getting a ton of comments one way or the other, but the ones I do get are generally from people who are already fans of my channel and who are having a good time. But the one thing I've gotten negative comments for, in particular, was a video where I just made a mission take a lot longer than it should have, because I kept really trying to do, no, that's not the menu I want. I kept really trying to kill 3 people in 5 seconds with throwing knives, because that's one of the challenges. I've kind of decided I'm just not going to worry too much about the challenges anymore, because some of the, like the hunting challenges and shit, it's just, I'd have to do them off screen. It's so much freaking work. So much time put in without really showing off anything interesting, trying to do it on screen. But once in a while, I will do something on screen. And like what I'm getting at is Horseman's going to be a bit of an exception. So we are going to try to do the ride from Strawberry to St. Denis. Oh, it's St. Denis. So we're going to try to do that one during this video. Hopefully I will provide amusing commentary as we try to do this. But if not, well, next time I'll get to main story missions, because what I found is even Let's Playing, I find the videos where I do main story missions are generally more fun than the ones where I try to do other like challenges. Just because they've got that, like, what to me as someone who started playing the series, and I know it's not the same series, but I tend to think of Red Dead Redemption as like a weird mutant offshoot of Grand Theft Auto. But, I mean, I started playing Grand Theft Auto back with Grand Theft Auto 3, retroactively playing 1 and 2 out of curiosity. And I think of all modern Rockstar games as being easy mode versions of Grand Theft Auto 3, where if you fail on a story mission, you end up spawning back at your garage, which could be really far away, and you have to go all the way back to the start of that story mission. And if it's a long, hey, mister, if it's a really long story mission with a lot of components to it, you do got to do the whole thing all in one shot. Whereas in this game, once you even get a whiff that you started a story mission, you get like quick load from whatever you were in the process of doing, no problem, all the time. Up to and including the fact that you're allowed to skip portions of the mission if you fail with them enough times. The game's like, it's okay, kid. We'll let you continue the story. Don't you worry. It's a game after all. It's meant to be fun.
Hey, friend.
Forgot to greet people until someone greeted me. Accidentally falling off your horse or threatening someone while trying to greet them, or even occasionally pulling a gun on someone that you were trying to greet is a problem. But generally, greeting everybody you come across is still a good idea. If you care about your people like me, dislike me meter. So we don't want to tuck our horse out too much before we start the run here. I'm going to do my best to ignore these guys because they're just kind of shooting.
Hey, partner.
Oh. I want nothing to do with the O'Driscolls. I'm leaving you alone. I'm leaving you alone. I mean, I could have killed those guys with no repercussion, and I'd get to rob them. But I'm just kind of, I'm trying to leave it be. But like, yeah, you guys are freeing one of your own from the cops. That's fine. That's how the Dutch Van der gang rolls too. I almost ran over or tried to run over a squirrel and then realized I don't have to actually do that anymore. Any squirrels I run over now, I can no longer blame the game for encouraging it. I guess I've got new autosave because I've entered a new zone. But yeah, the O'Driscolls are freeing one of the guys from prison. That's none of my business. I suppose I should have killed them and looted them. But I have other things on my mind. Shadows on my mind. I do not know the words to that song. I should not be trying to reference it. It is from the soundtrack of the film The Warriors. It's probably famous outside of being on the soundtrack of that movie, but whatever.
Yeah.
We got another stranger here. Or is this just the camp where I can sell stuff? Because you got a guy marked in white. Like I might be able to sell stuff to him at a premium. Oh, my horse liked the fact that I... Hey there, friend.
Hello, boy.
Yeah, no, he's letting everybody know I'm here. I'm not here to rob the place. That's fine. What's your deal, friend?
Look who it is. I'm sorry, but I don't have anything for you right now.
Okay, never mind.
Supplies are out of lumber a couple hours ago.
Never mind, I thought I always had the option to sell stuff to him, but whatever.
Come on, boy.
I can maintain good relations with this guy in case they're kind of a faction of some sort later.
Excuse me, partner. It's all good. Calm down.
See, that's just, I just greeted them, regular old greeting, and some folks just don't want to be greeted, I suppose. Yep. I mean, hell, in my real life, when I 90% of the time, it feels like, unless I'm on my way to work, if I leave the house, I almost always have earbuds in. So I don't suppose I can fault that guy for not wanting a random stranger coming up and going, "Howdy, partner." Still, the customs were a little different in that day. Expect him to live up to the customs. Oh, you again? Didn't I accidentally strangle you before?
Oh, I'm in bad sorts here. I took a little jolt and have managed to get myself hopelessly lost.
I thought I already did this. Perhaps I just did it off screen.
Can't think of a good reason to say no.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, after you. What possessed me to come out here, I'll never know.
So yeah, we came across this before, and I accidentally strangled him. So it looks like he's fine with us now. So most of these, if you fail them, they will kind of reset after a while.
I'm from New York City, actually.
New York City. Get a rope.
Oh yes. There was some talk at the country club about this burgeoning little resort town called Strawberry.
You don't say.
So I thought it might be quite the trip to see what
Who
all
was
the
it?
fuss was.
You didn't say.
Perhaps make a few investments while it was still undervalued. Turns out I was made the fool.
Not enjoying it, then?
It's a town of splinters, if you could call it much of a town at all.
Well, I ain't an enemy of the town yet, so that's good. Although actually I was for a while when I rescued Micah.
Some might call it charming.
Idiots.
Let me tell you.
The kind of people who think Zhang Zhao is a wizard.
Show me a timber frame shack and I'll show you Broadway.
I would go on to broader places, to Broadway.
Quite intolerable blowhard. A little bespoke woodwork, and he thinks this is a cultural hub. The man's completely deluded.
I wonder if we're going to run into the mayor as a plot character.
He must be quite the salesman. He did get me out here after all. More fool me.
And his wife is way hotter than he is, so he must be able to sell.
Cowboy. No offense.
Little taken.
But, you know, I'm a sensitive soul. I was going to explain the cowboy joke. I guess I'll wait to do that till we're literally on the ride to,
We're on the path.
yeah, when I don't have little bits of dialogue from this guy periodically. You still with me, friend? I guess I got going a little fast for you. He's not even like in a half jog or a fast walk trying to keep up, though. Yes, horses can walk faster than people. Certainly run faster than people.
Are we close to town?
Oh, yes. What's the matter? Your salt-on radar not working? Yeah, my horse liked that joke.
Sir, you've rescued me from the depths. You seem quite the resourceful sort, sir. If
The
for
way you
some
rode
reason
to a town, I
you
should have been
spent
able to
any time
find
in
myself.
Strawberry, you may want to look into that gabbing mayor. Something is definitely off with him.
You seem a very resourceful sort, sir. You should get involved with this guy that I've just told you is probably trouble. Thanks. Alright, so I don't know how far into Strawberry we have to get, but it seems like coming under this... Coming under the sign that says Strawberry should do it. Now, I had gone ahead and... let's see, what side of the river do we want to be on? We want to be on this side of the river, so let's not actually finish crossing over to where I said it. We run along this path. I'm just feeling like if we mark Bard's Crossing as where we're going to... It's like if I set my map destination to Bard's Crossing, I can ride the railroad tracks, I can bear right anytime it splits until I get to the point where I'm actually... I mean, I'll have like a kind of a X intersection here. But there'll be one point. I don't want to pause and check my map much because I think the timer will be running. But what I'm basically getting at is the only time the railroad will really split like split in two and I don't have the option to just go straight, I want to go right. And if I just follow the railroad track the whole way, that's once I get to it at Riggs Station. So maybe I'll just mark the Riggs Station post office as my new destination. Once I get to the Riggs Station post office, I really just want to keep on the railroad tracks until I get into St. Denis. And that is the horse mission that I need to do. I only got 9 minutes, so it's actually, it's not going to be easy. But I want to be a horseman, like AA Arn Anderson, recently fired from the WWE. 9-minute dry dash. Stuck up on horse stimulators for long rides. Yeah, it could be kind of a tough ride, actually. What's my next Explorer challenge? Find a treasure. Oh, just finding the treasure map. This really Explorer treasure thing I really think is more like the treasure hunter thing. So what have I got as far as horse items? I got oats. Horse stimulant fully restores horse stamina and fortifies slightly. I've got 3 of those. Two carrots, 7 oat cakes. Horse reviver, special horse reviver. Horse reviver. Potent horse stimulant. Horse stimulant. So those decors. Slightly restores stamina core or slightly restores horse stamina core. I don't know how we go about getting more I can probably find more oregano around. Alright, well, it's not ideal to do this at night, but
I never thought I'd be so happy to see this pulp heap.
it's actually really a terrible idea to be doing this at night. Oh well. To get on the railroad tracks, it probably won't matter too much, but I am way off the track already. Yikes. And I just have to hope I get lucky and don't run into random encounters that involve people shooting at me. Because it's kind of hard to see the path.
Yeah.
9 minutes ain't that much time in this game, considering the length of some of the rides. And if I get on the train tracks, my big worry is going to be to make sure that I don't fall off the train track on bridge sections, which happens. I'm not going to try to greet people for a change. I'm just going to concentrate on getting this done. If I do this right on the first try, we'll pretty much be right near the end of the video. But the railroad track is a simple way to keep dry. Try to keep warm. And it should be clear of everything except potentially a train. So, kind of a disaster if a train hits. Otherwise, should be nice and clear of other more common but less fatal distractions. Like if a train were to come now, that would be bad. it's day. The sun's coming up, so that's handy. So I'll wait till I'm at a little less than a quarter of the horse's stamina, and then I will give him some horse stimulant. And it is a him now, isn't it? I know the horse's gender changed when it was brought back from the dead, but I don't remember what it was before and what it changed into. But I believe it is now a he. Keep your ears peeled for the sound of a train. This train is bound for horse death, this train. I remember having a little trouble with these little bridges before, the ones that aren't quite as wide and built up.
Yep.
Okay, steady on there, horse. My lovely horse. Riding through the train tracks. He's not that excited about how hard he's getting pushed here. I'm getting a little bit of rumble from what my cousin Liam would call the rumble pack in the controller. So far, so good. Nice quiet ride. I was going to tell the cowboy joke that my dad told on Facebook. Now I'm just kind of want to keep it to myself until we finish this ride. And I'll tell it at the end. Because while this probably isn't that exciting to watch, I feel like I'm pushing my luck if I stop paying real close attention to what I'm doing here. Got the rhythm down, not a whole lot of thought involved, but I am trying to sort of pay attention to make sure that I'm keeping it on the railroad track. Okay, this might be a good time.
It's all right, boy.
There we go. It's alright, boy. It's alright, it's alright. Take anything you want from me. Anything. Fly on little wings. Alright. Had good luck with trains. Car outside just honked its horn and gave me a temporary moment of, wait, there's a car coming? Cars shouldn't be a thing. In this game, I do not believe cars are a thing. But remember, folks, at the end of this ride, I will tell a cowboy joke. It's kind of a cowboy joke, but not really. It's not without its humor, but it annoyed the hell to me when my dad posted it on Facebook, and then Bobo made it all better. That's coming soon, brother. Has asked the gang not to use... Okay, so we're at Rhodes, so... That's where I originally thought that the ride was for, and then I rechecked and said, no, we got to go all the way to St. Denis. I feel like I've got plenty of time. I feel like we're going more than fast enough here. Again, we've had good luck with not having trains. So if I know where I am on the map, we should be fairly close to an actual intersection between two different train paths, or train tracks, railways. All we got to do is just keep going straight, and we'll be in St. Denis. But I'll feel a bit of relief when we get that far.
That's one nice looking horse you got there. How about we see how fast it
I do not have time.
is? Hear me out.
Not now, lady. Hopefully that respawns, because you can see in the dialogue as she kind of just like, fine, suit yourself, like, acknowledge that we were not listening to her, but hopefully that will respawn, and I don't think it's... None of these dialogue things are a huge, huge deal if they don't. Now I think we are... Yeah, there's St. Denis, so you can actually see the city. So the only thing that could hold us back now is if the game suddenly decides I wasn't deep enough into Strawberry for it to count. I will be really annoyed if that happens. I found a legendary fish location. Alright, we done it. We got Legendary Horseman level 5. We are now Tully Blanchard. I don't know why I enjoy the Horseman challenges more than anything else, but as far as doing them on screen goes. But kill 7 enemies from horseback without dismounting. Oh, that probably won't be too bad of a problem. But we can't actually see what any future ones are. Okay. Alright, so that was basically a whole video given over to getting to Strawberry, dealing with a little NPC in Strawberry who wants you to explain, wants you to get him safely to Strawberry. But we can now... Weapons forbidden. And remember, folks, mocking are forbidden in roads. There is a home robbery mission we can do next time with Sean. Let's just take this video to get back to headquarters. The rest of this video will be used getting back to headquarters.
Greetings, friend. Hey, mister.
Anyway, so my dad... So my family runs the gamut of, like, levels of religiousness. My mom is fairly religious. My dad is not as religious as she is, but is more religious probably than I am. You know, Bobo and I are not particularly religious people, and my sister is actually looking into becoming a minister. So we have a fairly wide range of religiosity in the household. So my dad posted a joke on Facebook, and the premise is that there's an atheist and a cowboy, and he's actually described as a withered old noble cowboy, and they're on a plane. Taking a plane ride, and the atheist says to the cowboy, says, this is going to be kind of a long ride. I find that the ride goes by a lot faster if you strike up a conversation. And the cowboy says, Will, what do you want to talk about? And the atheist says, I'd like to talk about how there is no God, no heaven, no hell, and no afterlife. Yep. And I'm going to get some of the details of the joke wrong, but the premise will still work. The atheist says, I want to talk about how there's no God, there's no heaven, there's no hell. The cowboy says, well, sure, but let me ask you a question first. What are you... I'm trying to ignore all these side things, but... So the cowboy says, all right, sure, we can talk about that. Let me ask you a question first. You know how rabbits, cows, and horses all eat the same thing? And, or maybe it was deer. This is the third animal. But he says, yeah, rabbits, cows, and deer all eat the same thing. But a rabbit's turds, they come out as these real fine little pellets. And a cow's turds, it comes out as big, unformed clops. And then this is the third one. I'm getting the details wrong. It says, like, a deer's turd comes out as, like, little pellet. Or it comes out as, like, whatever deer shit comes out. I don't know. It's like a deer's droppings come out, and they're kind of cylindrical or whatever the hell shape. The point is, he says, how come you figure those three animals eat all different kinds of food, but they got very different droppings? And the atheist says, that's a real interesting question. I don't know the answer to that. And the cowboy says, well, why do I want to listen to you talk about how there's no God and no heaven, no hell and no everlasting life, when you don't know shit? Or he probably said crap in my dad's version, but that's the joke. It's like, you see? He literally asked him a question about shit, and the guy didn't know the answer, so why would you talk to him about... Oh, hold on. I guess we actually got to come back and check on this. All right, I'll try to wrap this nonsense up. This joke is the atheist wants to talk about heaven and hell, but he doesn't know shit. So I got really annoyed, like just really annoyed for a brief period because, not because I'm a dyed-in-the-wool atheist or have a particularly strong, opinion about this, but a bunch of my dad's old, his friends back in the old country who are all fairly religious, they all liked this joke and thought it was great. And it bothered me because the joke works exactly the same way if the guy on the plane is a theist and he tries to talk to some old cowboy, wise old cowboy, to prove there is a God and there is heaven and there is hell. It's exactly the same joke with exactly the same punchline. And I was annoyed by this, so I said something about it. And Bobo responded, because of course we're both Facebook friends with our own dad. And Bobo responded and says, it's actually a really great joke to use with anybody that you disagree with and you think sounds kind of arrogant. It really works on any topic of knowledge except scatological expertise. and Bobo's comment kind of made me feel better because I just like the idea that you could use this on anyone unless the person who's showing off how smart they are, their area of knowledge is scatological expertise, in which case the joke falls flat. Anyway, what I think I'll do now is call it a video. We didn't quite make it back to camp. We ran into some stranger, but I believe we probably got an autosave where our horse quest took anyway. So what we'll do is next time we'll talk to whoever this person is who thinks they recognize us and see what they have to say. And then we'll go to camp and probably do a home invasion mission with Sean or something similar. And I will fight the urge to try to kill 3 people in 5 seconds with throwing knives, because that's what made the last home invasion mission, which should have been this fairly short, fun romp, such a pain in the butt. I'm the Mysterious JG. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.